This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
So we are back with Shannon Bassham, closing manager, the other half of my brain, made for more extraordinaire. What was your question for him, Matt?
So looking at your position where you say you manage a lot of those technology touch points and with the clients, and just looking at all the different tasks that you manage for Johnny and Made for More, a lot of people would argue, well, you know what? AI can do that. We've heard from a lot of tech gurus who say AI is at the point where you can eliminate positions like Shannon because AI will do all of those tasks for you. How would you respond to that?
I have some strong thoughts around this. What are you
I do
saying?
as well.
Okay, let's hear it.
I think buying a home and selling a home is the most personal thing you can do. I don't think people want AI to be taking that over. They still need that personal touch of someone there rather than AI.
I agree.
So AI can't send those emails or texts?
I talk to them on the phone as well. So I think it's those phone calls that really help people through the transaction, keeping them updated that way.
People underestimate how much conversation goes on in a real estate transaction. Mm-hmm. So we're helping my dad, my grandparents passed, we're helping my dad sell the family house. And my dad, it's kind of fun for him to be a part of this. So he's, interacting with Shannon and me. And he called me up the other day. He's like, Johnny, I don't know how you guys do it. Like Shannon called me like 4 times yesterday about all these different things. It was all handled. It was taken care of. But that's just me. And I'm like, chill. I don't even this isn't, I know I'm not like a problem or like a high maintenance person. Right. And so he's like, I don't understand how you do it with all the businesses and stuff that you have going on. And so as far as AI taking over something like what Shannon does, that's going to be really hard to do. And it's definitely not there yet.
Yeah.
And even if it was, do you want that?
Right.
Does the person want to talk to a computer, or do they want somebody who has decades of experience that they can go in and see in person?
Sure.
But the other thing was working in the office. That was something that I forgot to mention that earlier.
So does Johnny require you to come into the office 5 days a week? Or?
Yes, he does. I am in office 5 days a week.
So that was when you did the interview, because I know you're a millennial and a lot of younger folks.
How do you know she's a millennial?
Well, because she looks like a millennial. She dresses like a millennial. She talks like a millennial. No, and that's not to say anything bad about millennials. Millennials are great. But
is it?
I think we are.
Yeah.
But so when he did the job interview with you, did you ask for that flexibility? Hey, can I work remotely? Or was he straightforward and said, hey, if you want this position, you got to be in the office at this time every day, and et cetera?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no conversation really about it. I knew the job was in office 5 days a week. So I knew the expectations going into the interview. He did mention it, but from previously working remote in the position that I have, I realized how much better it is to be in office than to be remote. So going into it, I knew what I was getting myself into.
You did. I was adamant about that. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of people who work for us virtually, love it. But when I went and shadowed one of these guys, he's selling 750 houses a year in a really small market. He has 15% market share, which is incredible. All of EXP, if you add us all up, we maybe have 15% market share. And this one guy in this other market has 15% market share. And he walked in, or his assistant walked in. She was in an office right adjacent to his. And so it was 5 steps. She would 5 steps to his desk. And she brought in a piece of paper, and they went through 60 listings, 60 active listings in 5 minutes. And it was we need to do this. And it just blew my mind. I was like, there is no way I can be that effective in my job.
Right.
And effective for my clients by having somebody remote. And so when I drove home that day and posted the job, it had to be in person. It was a non-negotiable. And just by Shannon being there, she hears more, she gets to know the office and the workings of other people in the office. There's just so many intangibles that if you're working remote, ultimately that the people who are working remote are doing it because of them. They're not doing it because it helps their position.
Right.
That's my take on it.
It benefits them, not necessarily you.
It benefits them, not the company, maybe not even their career, but it benefits them in that moment.
Yeah.
And so with Shannon being there in office, it is if somebody's looking to, so I've had people call me, hey, how do you hire an assistant? What do you do? And I'm like,
especially
in
a young assistant, because we've had trouble even here at the radio station looking to fill certain positions. And you look at certain demographics, you look at someone who's older, who has the experience, but they're not as great when it comes to technology, right? And maybe they're more available because their kids are grown up and they can come into the office.
Yeah.
And so you look at someone like that and they say, okay, well, they're just not as quick. They're not as smart, right? As a younger person.
Oh.
And so the older folks, right? Because when you're looking at filling a position, you look at certain demographics and you say, I want someone stable. I want someone who's not going to be distracted. So I'm going to go with a more mature person, an older person. But again, they're not as quick and they're not as up to speed with technology. And so you go, okay, well, what about a younger person? And what we have seen with younger people is that they're a little just flat out flaky. They're not as committed to positions and jobs. So
they leave their phones in bars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or they are on their phone during the workday, and so there's that back and forth.
I don't think that's an age thing. I think that's a maturity thing. And then there are mature,
absolutely.
There are mature people at any age bracket.
Sure, absolutely. So that when you're talking about finding that key position, when you were talking about people asking you, well, how do you find those assistants? Yeah. What is going through your mind when you're looking for that certain person?
So there's two ways, right? Shannon is the first person we've hired that came with skills. Right? There's two ways. You can either hire somebody that's already has a proven track record, like Shannon,
right? Or
you can hire somebody who is new to that role or new to that position, and you have to train them up. And so those are the two main tracks. I will say, and not to what's the word I'm looking for? Over exaggerate or like puff up Shannon, but from day one, she came in and she was like, hey, here are some things that we can change. Here's some things we can implement. Oh my gosh, Johnny, you spend way too much money. Kudos to Shannon. She's the first person that's ever told me that I had in my employment, besides my wife. My wife told me that all the time. But like instantly there were things. So if somebody's looking for an assistant or looking for somebody like that, my suggestion would be make sure which route you want to go. Do you want to train them up? Or do you want to have somebody that's already trained and can help implement day one? So when you look at Meta or Google or Oracle or these big companies, they are hiring known talent. They are paying a lot of money. It's like hiring a professional athlete. They are hiring somebody and they're paying a lot to bring that person in. And I was willing to pay more for a Shannon. Shannon, what is somebody? That's my take on it. Mm-hmm. But for you on the other side of the desk, like, what do you look for in an employer? Because I think that's more interesting to me. Is like when you, because you've interviewed with some other teams in the area. Mm-hmm. What are you looking for in an employer? What is somebody, a millennial, somebody like that's looking to, join another company? Mm-hmm. What would be the reason that they would join one company over another?
I felt like when I interviewed with you, you were extremely honest about what you wanted in this position. And I found that sometimes other realtors haven't been as honest as what they're looking for, kind of try to fluff it up and make it seem like it's a different position than it is. And I also just felt like you had an expectation going into this and you told me what it was right away. And I really appreciated that. And
the clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm hearing you correctly, you want somebody that kind of knows what they're looking for, has a process, and isn't trying to just figure it out necessarily. And
yeah, I was a little nervous going into it, knowing that in previous positions I've implemented all my own systems, and you guys already had a million systems. So it was me coming in and learning, but I feel like it's worked out super well for all of us.
I agree. And so if somebody is looking to hire a real estate agent, I've heard it. I mean, Kathleen was on here a couple of weeks ago, RTC, and she was saying it's always dangerous if you hire a real estate agent that does not have a transaction coordinator. Mm-hmm. What would you say to somebody who is doing any type of like business, them not having an assistant? Like I would argue that'd probably be something similar.
Yeah, I agree. I think without having an assistant or without having someone in a position like me, a lot of things are falling through the cracks without you even knowing.
As the homeowner, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As a homeowner or a buyer, you're just getting missed out on things when there's not two people to communicate with rather than just one.
Correct. Because if I'm like driving from an appointment to appointment, I might be, and I'm the sole point of contact. I could be missing calls. I could be missing buyers trying to submit offers on the property. There are things that are happening that I am unaware of, or I'm going to have to get back to at a later time. And that like speed saves deals, and the lack of speed kills deals. Like the longer it takes for something to happen, the less likely it is for that buyer or that seller to get the better deal on their home. So, So if anybody's looking to, work with Made for More and wanting to buy or sell a house, I just want to make sure that they knew that Shannon was part of the team, a valued part of the team, and that you've been doing this now for a long time. Is there anything you'd like to add? Anything you'd want to say? Like, one more question. We got 2 questions. One
more question. We got 2 more questions.
One for each, because there's always buyers and sellers. What is the number one thing, if you could wave your magic wand and make sellers understand this, or if you could change something for sellers, what would it be?
I would say that we always have like them in mind of all the decisions that we're making. Like sometimes sellers, I understand the sale of like a house is so personal, but they're stuck on one thing when sometimes we do know better, and it is better to price lower, or it is better to get these repairs done rather than listing without it. But I think it's just maybe putting a little bit more trust into your real estate agent.
That's a really good answer. It's probably the same answer for buyers then too, right? Or do you have something different for buyers?
No, it's it's the same for both.
Got it. That's really good.
I have another challenging point on that is, Johnny, you've talked about this. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I'm having back problems, but I'm okay now. You've talked about this for over.
You're not a millennial, clearly.
No, I'm obviously not. No, I'm up there. AARP is pounding on my door. But you've talked about this a lot, that all realtors are not the same.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you can understand how homeowners, if they've not worked with a top professional like yourself, how they could have trust issues, that maybe this realtor this is a hobby for them. They're not 100% invested into it. Yeah. They don't know what's going on. So you can understand how some buyers and sellers who have had sketchy past experiences, how they're not 100% confident in all the realtors that are out there, that they actually do know what they're doing like you guys do.
Yeah, a good realtor is not common.
Right.
It's like, I would say 10% or less of the realtor population is really good, which means the 90+ % that you're bumping into at the grocery store, or that's telling you that they're a realtor when they're at their real job. Right.
And
then they work for the state, but I'm also a realtor. So I totally understand that.
So you guys have to do a good job. Which it seems like you're doing is building that confidence that, hey, you can trust us. We are working the best for you, and you can trust our advice and our counsel and how we're leading this transaction. But we're different than everyone else.
But the thing is, too, is that a lot of people are used to that one agent experience.
Yeah.
And they don't like having... they don't like change. There's something different. And so having like a Shannon there makes them like, well, I hired you. How does that look?
Right.
And I totally get that. But like, let's just list off some different professions here. If you go into an attorney's office, do you call that attorney directly?
No, but I would say that's different.
Okay.
I would say
all right,
the interaction you have.
Okay, so it might be different. What about your doctor? What about your chiropractor? What about if you get your toes done?
Right. No, that makes sense.
Like across the gambit, if you're getting ice cream, right? If you're at Chipotle, right? The person that takes your order, if you're at Starbucks, the person that takes your order is oftentimes not the person that's actually making the coffee. And so why would you expect, and the reason why they're doing that is because you're able to provide a higher level of service to the end customer. So why should it be different in real estate? Why should you expect the realtor to handle all the inbound calls, to handle all the marketing, to negotiate everything, to visit you in person, to show you all the homes, and that's just for one client. And now you're supposed to, and you should, any realtor worth their weight will have multiple clients. And so now it just becomes 1,000 different hats that the realtor is trying to spin, or plates that they're trying to spin, and the quality of service goes down. So that's why I really think this is where the industry is going. The industry needs more Shannons.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Shannon?
Yeah, I'm also a licensed realtor, so
that's true.
Yeah, I have come to the table with that. I have my real estate license. I've been doing this for almost a decade, so I come with a lot of experience, and I feel like it is good for clients.
It's so good. I get why they're concerned though, because it's a new thing for many of them, and oftentimes if they have done this before, like there's a red real estate company out there that is known for kind of assembly lining the system, and so the clients are always getting passed to a different person,
Yeah.
right? That's not the case here. This is like it's Shannon and Johnny if you're working with us, and it's us throughout the entire thing.
Right.
So it's not like you're getting passed. Like we do have other elements of the team. We have nearly 10 different staff members just on the staff, and then there's vendors outside of that. But as far as your main point of contact, you have Johnny and Shannon 100% of the way. So with that,
There you go. Seems like you have to change the name now.
Johnny and Shannon.
More with Johnny and Shannon.
Made for More Realty, sponsored by Shannon. So, all right, Shannon, it was an absolute joy having you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Was this fun?
This was so much fun.
All right. Lie some more.
So I'm not one of those people who makes New Year's resolutions. I don't know about you, but to me, that's all lip service. It's all talk. I want action. I want to get things done now. And that's how Johnny Jennings and his team at Made for More Realty operate. They want to get you the most money possible and sell your home as fast as possible. So if that's what you are interested in, then just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. Find out how they can sell your home in as-is condition. They can get you at least 3 cash offers for your home in as-is condition, and you can read all of their 1,000 5-star Google reviews. Just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty and get more for your home.